Let me get to my, there we go.
Hey there, this is Donna Woolam right here. I'm Donna Woolam, and over in the other seat is Alicia White, CEO of Back of the Room Productions. And I just want to just share with you a little bit about how Alicia and I met, because I think that this is a true story of the power of social connections. Because Alicia and I met, about a year ago, just around a year ago, in a group. And we're part of a couple of different groups, but Alicia and I met, and I think you reached out to me, said, hey, I was new in the area, and we had an incredible conversation on the telephone. And I just instantly connected with Alicia. She's one of those kind of people that you can tell that her heart is just to serve and to get to know people and make life better for people. And she invited me to look at the Public Speakers Association, which has become an incredible organization for me to be a member of. Outside and above that, and Alicia's work with the Public Speakers Association, what she is an expert in is branding and marketing. And today she's going to help us do a better job of that. So thanks so much, Alicia, for being here.
Thank you, Donna. I'm thrilled that you're doing Blab. I just think that's awesome. I have not jumped on just yet, and I know I need to, but I'm just excited about sharing with your audience today and seeing how I can help folks with their branding.
Well, and marketing and branding to me is so fascinating, Alicia, because it is what really will cause you to set yourself apart in all of the sea and the noise that's out there. Because as much as we love social media, you can get lost out there. And especially because I don't even know what the statistics are. If somebody knows, just pop it in the message box. But how many new companies go online every day? How many people are starting up something? And if you don't have powerful branding, you'll just be lost.
You will. And that's one of the things that people need to work on, is being memorable in their branding. And, one of the things that I teach my clients is being consistent and being with their branding, their look and feel, so that when one of your prospects goes to LinkedIn or your website or on Facebook, you have the same look and feel. It's the same headshot that you've been using. And also that your message is clear. Having a clear message helps weed out those that you can help and those that may not need your solution for their problem.
Do you work with people to help identify their ideal target, or do you help them pass that once they've done that? How does that work?
A lot of what I do is I will take clients on that have not identified their target audience, and I walk them through a process of, what does this person look like? And actually, the one question that I ask the most, Donna, is I want you to think back to the experience that you had with a client that was just fantastic. There were no hiccups. Everything was communicated clearly. The client was satisfied with their product or service, whatever you delivered. And I want you to think of that person in the terms of age, sex, demographic, careers, who is that person? And most likely, that's going to be your ideal target audience. It's going to be that person that you serve.
Okay, and I think that for a lot of people, they discount that step of the journey so much, because if you don't know who that is, you're just blah 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 out in the mix, aren't you? If you don't understand that. So
yeah. Well, and one of the things that people like to say is, I serve everyone. Well, you don't serve everyone, and I think we know that now. I think we're learning now that we don't serve everyone. That having that niche is what really sets you apart, and being able to grow your business in that niche. I mean, I used to think that I could serve everyone. When I was before I started working with speakers and business owners who want to use speaking to develop their business, I thought I could serve everyone. I thought I could serve every mom and pop organization as well as the corporations, and I did. And my marketing, though, was so generic and scattered that people didn't really grasp what it was that I could bring to them until I brought this niche in. And once I did that, now I'm very focused on what I provide and who I provide it for. And I think everybody who goes through that, who starts, every entrepreneur, every small business owner needs to go through that practice of really identifying who their target audience is.
Right, right. And I think that it's interesting too, because you are a person who broke the barriers of a new niche market. So talk to us a little bit about that, because that's fascinating to me, because you would think, oh, well, surely people out there have done that kind of thing. So how was that for you to discover that and put yourself in that place?
Well, it's really interesting, Donna, because when in 2008, 2009, the economy tanked for all of us in the U.S. And as we were trying to figure ourselves out, graphic designers, trying to figure ourselves out, I stumbled across an idea that a coach brought to me. A coach said, I'm going to be speaking at this event and I need some collateral. I need some marketing materials. I thought, okay. And I started preparing marketing materials for her. Then I went to a seminar held by a multi-million-dollar national sales training guru. I mean, he's known internationally, and he's just well known. And I went to that 2-day seminar and I got so much information. I wrote down pages of information from him. The only problem was he didn't have anything at the back of the room that I could take home. Wow. He had a product that was $500. He had a product that was $400, but I wasn't ready to spend that just yet. I would have spent probably $50, $100.
Yeah.
And I went back there asking for a book that he was gifting with people who bought the high dollar package. I said, I just want the book. And they said, well, we're not selling the book separately. No, you don't understand. I just want the book. And they wouldn't sell it to me.
Oh my God.
They would have made $20. It was a $12 book. They would have made $20. And here's the thing. They would have gotten my contact information because I walked in that place without giving my contact information.
Right.
I was invited by a friend.
Wow.
And their system was down, so they never collected my information. So I walked away with 20 pages worth of notes. He walked away without my information.
Wow.
No lead, no revenue from me, and I was willing to pay.
You're like the dream client that walked in.
I know.
That beginning client that anybody would just give their IT to connect with.
Exactly. And this happened in San Diego, so I'm on the plane home writing down my business plan. I already figured it out. Back of the room sales is so important. Back of the room marketing, back of the room presence is so important for anyone who gets in front of more than two people, more than one person. If you have a group in front of you, you better have something at the back of the room to create a lead or generate revenue.
And how often do you run across people, Alicia, that just don't know that? I mean, you would think today that people know that, but I'm sure you must. I mean, that's why you're in business, is because people don't understand that. But how common is that for you?
It's so common. It has taken me 3 years because as a category creator in the speaking industry, back of the room marketing and back of the room sales was really only delegated to those speakers that were earning 30, 50 grand per speaker fee, per engagement. And it has taken me almost 4 years to educate people who are like you and I that still need that information to create those opportunities to grow your business. Yeah. So it's taken a while.
So let's consider someone who does speaking as part of what they do. So they could have any kind of business whatsoever. They're sitting here today and they're going to their local chamber of commerce, or they're going to a Rotary Club, or going to a women's group or network marketing event or something. And they're just like a guest or a panel speaker or workshop speaker. How important is it for them to have something to offer as well?
If you're a workshop speaker, a panelist, if you're getting time in front of a group, it is important. Though there's one thing that you definitely need every time, and actually I have my coach, my business coach, Katrina Sawa, who's also a client of mine. She never goes anywhere without this, whether she's speaking or not. It's the order form.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the order form. The order form can list your books, it can list your products, it can list your programs. If you have none of those, if you're a plumber or a caterer or a florist, you have one thing that you can do, and that is you can give your time and your wisdom. And you can offer a free strategy session or consultation, or, for example, if you are a florist, you can invite someone in to to show them your arrangements. Just try to garner that interest. Try to get that interest, but having that order form to where you can write down that person's name, email address, and phone number. And nowadays, we're going back to direct mail because we're so overwhelmed with social media and emails. Oh my gosh, I woke up this morning to, 70 emails in my inbox from, just from Friday. And those are legitimate emails, not including the spam. So direct mail is coming back, and you're going to want to start sending postcards and things of that nature.
Wow.
So getting that information opens the door to you communicating with that prospect.
So let me just kind of get this process, if we can kind of go back. The number one thing is to know who you're speaking to and understand your market and that ideal market. Then you've told us that any of us can have this one thing, this order form that we can have with us wherever we're speaking, whatever we're doing, so that we can connect people back to ourselves. What would you say that we need to do to make sure people separate us out from everyone else? Because we talked a little bit about that. And what makes us memorable to people if we're sitting in a room of other workshop speakers or going on a Blab, or what can make us memorable?
Well, what makes you memorable are a couple of things. When I work with a client on their branding foundation, we identify three things. We identify their color. So what color? So my colors, you can see, are in the reds and purples and things of that nature. And I actually will wear purple and pink, the brighter pinks and cranberries, because that's my personal brand too. And I look good in those colors. So I've translated it to my business brand.
Okay.
So I identify brand colors. Then we identify fonts. What kind of fonts are going to appeal to your target audience?
Wow.
Are you more corporate? Are you more fun and crafty? Are you ethereal and spiritual? All of those things come into play. And then style, again, gear that towards your target audience. So I usually say, the color, make that about you. Let that be about you, about what makes you feel good, because I want you to wear it. I want you to feel comfortable in your color. And because that's you authentically. And I've heard the phrase be your authentic self over and over again. I think we're kind of tired of that, but it's true. You want to be yourself. And the best way to be yourself is be comfortable in what you love to wear anyway and put on. Then the fonts, aim that towards your target audience, and your style. That's a mix of you and your target audience. Okay. If you're a crafty, passionate person and you're appealing to corporate, you're going to want to put some of that craftiness in the style of your corporate look and feel. You got to merge it. It's kind of difficult, but once you merge it, then those people know who they're dealing with. They know because corporate people are crafty too. You know, they like that. They are also drawn to people who are a little opposite of them. So it's okay to merge those styles. And then the fourth thing that I look at as far as being memorable is your message. You know, your message, making yourself distinct from everybody else that's got a table at the back of the room. Make yourself different. That, again, we go back to that niche. You know, have a niche and market yourself in that way.
And so when we're thinking about this, and you told us that we can have our sales brochure or our order form, something like that we can tuck in our bag and give those free consultations. But what are some other things that, as a branding strategist, as a branding expert, would you say every person absolutely, positively must have?
Well, you positively must have a website. You have to have a website, and whether it's static or dynamic, preferably dynamic. And what I mean by being dynamic is sharing your content on a regular basis, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a month, whatever that frequency is for you. Have a website that's going to be updated so that people can follow you. Have your social media links on there. And that's the second must have, your social media links, because people are building relationships online. Like Donna said earlier, we met online, you know, and we met a year ago, and I finally met her last month face to face, but we created the synergy. I mean, from the first phone call, I fell in love with you, Donna.
Aw, it's just awesome to be together, right?
No, it is. And that was a year ago we met online, and now we are participating in things in person and live. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And so your social media, have your Facebook, your LinkedIn, everything named the way that you want it to be named. For example, I could use Back of the Room Productions. I could create a LinkedIn account for Back of the Room Productions, but this is me. I'm Alicia White. And so everything is named Alicia White 911. And the reason why I have to add 911 is because there is, Donna's heard this, there is an erotica author who's called Alicia White, and her brand presence is everywhere. Type in that and you'll pick up a very nice romance novel. Won't get branding, but she has branded herself very well.
Yeah.
And so have your social media set up with, and your website with your face, your message, and then your business cards. Because when you are face-to-face with someone, have business cards. And I don't care if you get your business cards for free from an online source. You don't have to do that with a graphic designer right away. Go ahead and get business cards today. Get a free website today and start branding yourself as the person, the expert in your field, the person who's going to deliver solutions to your clients' problems. But I do want to tell you, in 3-6 months, if you're still using the free business cards, it's time to upgrade, because people are going to start wondering if you're serious or not. Right.
And I know that whenever I first started in business, which was a while ago, the most important thing to me was to make sure that I had some sort of business card. So I went to my son worked at Office Depot, and I could get a discount there. So I went to Office Depot and bought a package of print on your computer business cards. But then, it doesn't take you long before you realize you need something a little better than that, something more professional. So I love that you say, whatever you can do, just get those business cards today to have something to give to people. I think that's so smart, so smart.
It is. And I always feel bad for the person who comes up to me in a networking event and says, and they hand me their card and are like, here's my card. And they're so timid and worried that I'm going to judge them. And I know it's from a free service, or I know they printed it off on their computer. And I said, you know what? You have to start somewhere. Right. Stop apologizing.
Right. Right.
You know, you have to start somewhere. And that's the key, guys. JL Denhart said, there is something, there's a lesson there for testing your brand name before you launch.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Look on Google. Look, I couldn't find anything about Back of the Room, marketing presence, or anything. As soon as I found Back of the Room Productions, I trademarked it.
Right.
Easy. Same thing with Speaker Sheets, which is another company under the umbrella of my companies. And it's speakersheets.com Speaker Sheets is a huge product in the speaking industry. And no one had bought speakersheets.com.
Oh my gosh.
I know. That was 2 years ago. I bought it. So it's mine now. I know. All that to say, yes, test your brand. And you know what? You know what, Donna, to bring back on the printing them at home, printing the cards at home, print off a few different kinds and with different titles of who you are and what you do, or taglines, I should say, your message. And hand those out to your peers and colleagues and see which one fits. Wow. It's okay to throw noodles up on the wall and see which one sticks.
I love that. That is great. One of the things that I did, does that sound weird on your side? I'm not sure if it sounds strange over there. I'm having kind of feedback all of a sudden. So
I can hear you fine.
Okay, great. Because my name is very unusual. You would think unusual. I mean, my first name's not. There's a million Donnas, but my last name being Woolam is not. You wouldn't think Donna Woolam would be that common of a name, but there are other Donna Woolams. And so when I first started in business, I looked for that. So some of my things have Donna K. Woolam, which is my middle initial, but I just wanted to make sure that people knew who I was. And one of the things that I learned early on, even as a solopreneur, which we didn't even say that then, I just worked at home.
Right.
I worked for another company at home, was to have a personal icon and something that set me apart, which was not, they didn't even call it your logo. And so what I did was, with my name being Woolam, I decided that I would have a lamb. And so I've used lambs a lot in things, but I didn't want it to just be lamb. What does that mean? I was really disappointed. I think Gwen Stefani has a lamb line of stuff, so it's like, dang, I didn't even use that. So, but it stands for, and people will see this in my information too, living at my best, LAMB.
Living at my best. I did. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you explained that.
Yeah, so people would wonder, what is that? But whenever I was first out there in business and introducing myself and trying to find a way to stand apart and outside of what everyone else was doing, I found something unique to myself. And so that has carried through in my marketing, even though primarily everything is Donna Woolam. The living at my best is part of my heart and part of my life and part of my branding. So it is part of that. So for you as an expert, then how do you blend that? Do you find that sometimes people get too attached to something that really doesn't serve their market and you have to help kind of nudge them away? Or do you find a way to incorporate it? How do you do that?
I get that. I had a client that just was sold on it. She sold on this. She has a brand name or a company name. She has a company name, but she wanted to change her company name to an event name.
Okay.
And I kept trying to steer her away from that because the event name didn't really cover all of what she delivered. Mm-hmm. So just like Positive Dogs NC, I don't know your first name, sorry about that, but Positive Dogs NC says, there's times that her brand doesn't, Lynn says that her brand doesn't fit her anymore. Yeah. She's come to a point in her time, in her career, that she may have to rebrand. And that happens. That mm-hmm. does happen. And so there's two things you can do. One thing is you can rebrand yourself completely. And it's okay to do that. And you can get excited about it and pumped about it. And you change your deliverables. You change, because if your audience has changed, if your customer has changed, then yeah, you need to change your deliverables too. The second thing is create a separate identity, a separate company. Now, that's a little bit more tricky to hand off. Like I said, Back of the Room Productions, I work with entrepreneurs and small businesses and speakers, whereas speakersheets.com is primarily speakers, right? People who want to get on stage. So there is some confusion when I am trying to decide which one do I want to promote, but this is the tip. This is the golden nugget. The business that you started out, you can have the two businesses, but the business that you started out with, where you are known for, you're recognized for, that's the one you plug. That's the one you put your name after on things like this interview, on your blog, on, you can include both names, but I know it sounds confusing. I'm sorry, but it is Monday mornings and I haven't so, but the thing is that you can either completely rebrand, which there's nothing wrong with that. You get excited and you get your followers pumped about it too.
Yeah.
And just recognize you'll lose some of the people that you had, some of the following you have. But that's okay. You're going to pick up others because now you're fueling yourself.
Yeah. That is so smart, Alicia. That's so smart. And while we're here, we've got some new people who have joined us in. And so I want to make sure that you guys know that this is Alicia White. She's the CEO and founder and creative director of Back of the Room Productions. And she's got her website posted over there, and it's backoftheroomproductions.com. So you'll want to be sure and connect with her. And on Twitter, she's Alicia White 911. And one of the things I love about being connected with Alicia is that she puts some great stuff into her weekly newsletter. And so if you haven't connected with her on her website, be sure and do that and get into her space. There's a lot of great, not only branding, but speaking tips in there. So however you're working that, it's so good.
Thank you.
And I'm Donna Woolam, and I am the founder and CEO of Donna Woolam. Living at My Best International. And I would love it if you'd come to my website, and I'll put that over there too. It's donnawoolam.com. And I am an author and speaker and an advocate for the female entrepreneur. And I want to help you have a more successful business, a more successful life, and to really live at your best. And we have people who are here today who are not female entrepreneurs, but they are great interactors, and we love you being here. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Or if you're working in another place and you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur, we're so glad that you're here, because marketing and branding is important for everyone. And so Alicia, as we're kind of thinking about, I know that you've got a special offer for the people who are here today. So could you talk to them about a little bit about that and what you're going to be giving the people who've taken the time to listen, but also the time to come over to your website?
Okay, I am going to copy, let me get it right. I'm going to copy the website address into the message so that you guys can get this. Now, this is a business branding checklist. And what it does, it's a guide to help build your marketing and branding tools. I want you to visit this link so that you can get clear on what products and tools you need for marketing. You probably already have quite a few of these. If you're just beginning, then you might not so much. And so it's a guide to help you determine what the basic needs, the intermediate needs, and then how to send your message further. What are some things you can do to go further? So if you'll check on that link there, you'll get those tools. You'll find the checklist of tools that will help you reach your customers. And yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh,
I was taking a breath.
And I need to. And the other question, the other thing I wanted to ask, Donna, can I let them know about this branding assessment offer that
Absolutely. Please do. Yeah.
Oh, this is so awesome. I love doing this because I get to see what you guys are up to, see where you're at, and see where you want to go. And it's a branding assessment where I evaluate your existing brand and provide suggestions for improvement. It's a 30-minute phone call, and it's normally priced at $147, but I'd love to offer it to you in the next 48 hours now for only $47. So if you're interested in having some feedback, some improvement suggestions on your current brand, as far as, are you reaching your ideal target audience? Is your brand consistent? Is your message consistent? That's a 30-minute phone call, $47. I send you an assessment sheet to fill out so that I can go look at these things before we get on the call. And after the call, you'll have this. It's kind of rapid fire. Don't be intimidated by that, because I record it, and then you can always go back and listen to it and go, what did she say at the 6-minute mark?
That is fabulous. That is an incredible offer. And so one of the things I want to ask you is, because sometimes people go back and listen to Blab recordings. So if they're listening to this, next week or the first week of December, how could they let you know? I mean, you said 48 hours today. It's November 16th, and that's okay. I mean, if you want to lock it in for live only, that's the benefit of being live. That's terrific. If you want to extend it, you can, let us know how you want to make them aware of how to qualify.
You know what, Donna? I am new to Blab, as far as this will be my second interview on Blab. So I'm just going to take that time limit off.
Oh,
no
wow.
Time limit.
That's crazy good.
It's crazy.
Awesome. See, I told you, Alicia is a quality woman. She's doing something spectacular there. But, if this is like 20, and people are watching this, be aware that the value of this is probably, $10,000 by now, because of who Alicia is. And, but, Alicia, you have a lot of things, and I just want to, just reiterate this. Alicia is, I've got my notes, see.
Oh, yes.
An international best-selling author of the book, Share Your Message with the World, and the best-selling book, 25 Brilliant Business Mentors, their top tips to catapult you to success. How did you come to be an author and pull that information together? And what would you, people, I guess, where can they get your books? Where can they find those?
Well, my books are on Amazon.com. You can look up Alicia White 911 on Amazon.com, but you can also visit my website and contact me. I have quite a few books that I can get to you. I would also enjoy getting to know you. So go ahead and go to backoftheroomproductions.com and let me know. Go to the contact page and just let me know what you're doing, and let's see how we can help one another. Because I'm not in it just to make money or just to get your business. Yeah, I want that. I'm not going to lie. But if there's a way that we can collaborate, like Donna and I mean, I would love to be able to, help you further your goals. If I have a blog that you want to be a part of, just let me know.
See, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, and as a public speaker, could you, because we both love the Public Speakers Association and being a part of that, and I know that you work a lot with the Public Speakers Association, and could you give maybe a great tip for someone who is an aspiring speaker and they're trying to get something in their hands that they could hand to somebody at a networking meeting or something like that, where they could position themselves as a speaker? I mean, that's your area is marketing and branding yourself as a speaker. What could you put in your hand and say, I'm available for your next meeting? Is there something like that?
Yes, I like to, this is actually a rack card. It's a little different size than a postcard. And what I like about this is that this particular lady, Becky Lynn Smith, she is nature driven and things of that nature. So what we do is we have information on here. We can put your information on here, your branding on here. And this is a piece that you can hand out. You can also hand out something about the size of a bookmark that says, I'm a speaker. And having something like that is a little different from your business card. And it's a great tool. It really is. So I would recommend those. Those are very affordable. Just get them designed or design them yourself on an online place. Start out there and then start handing them out and tell people you're a speaker.
Because people don't tend to throw something like that away, do they? I mean, I know that whenever I go through the boxes of things that I've kept for years, there's things like that in there. There's something about, I can't throw that away. That's important. That's an important piece of paper.
Well, and you know what I like about this piece? I'll show you real quick. This is actually 2 tools in one. This speaker, she puts this out on the table, and she has people, she asks for people to give feedback. So what they do is she'll tell them on the stage that they can tear the portion off, leave this behind, fill it out.
Wow.
And then they take this home.
Wow, how smart is that?
This is how you give your message legs.
Right. That's what you would have given anything to have when you went to that first meeting, if you could have just had a way to get in touch with those people.
Exactly.
So make it. So what I hear is that you're saying, let's make it easy for people to know who you are, identify you, and connect with you in your branding space, and to make sure that they know they're with the right person. And when you have a common name, a gal that I work with has a very common name, and I thought I had connected with her on Twitter, and it wasn't her, so I had to go back and look at some other branding pieces and make sure I connected with the right person. So being connected in the right space and make it easy for people. Is that what it comes down to?
Actually, yeah. And, I keep coming back to that. Make it easy for people to find you, to know who you are, to like you, trust you, and know you, to like, know, and trust you. Mm-hmm. Sorry, it's backwards. Know, like, and trust. Okay. Make it easy for people to do that. And so I need a make it easy button. I need to get one of those, Why are we making it so hard? And because I did that for years, I would make it so hard for people to understand what I did because, again, it goes back to the target audience. I was serving everybody. You can't serve everybody. Right. Even if you're Mary Kay or Scentsy or Tupperware, there's a niche. Yeah. There's a niche that you can find and get into.
And that is so smart, so smart. So like for me in my business, I have a lot of different places where I love to live in that. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to it, I love to work with female entrepreneurs and help them get their business started in a powerful, successful way. There are a lot of different places in that. But as someone who's working with female entrepreneurs, I have to remember we all start somewhere. Mm-hmm. And to help your audience start at the beginning with you and help them to be able to connect with you at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And so you offer small, let's get started pieces all the way up to the entire marketing package, the products and everything.
The whole thing.
Right. Mm-hmm. So if you are considering hiring someone to help you with your marketing and your branding, Alicia's a gal you need to know. You need to get connected with her. You need to get over to, as soon as we're finished here, if you haven't already right-clicked and put it up into another browser window or whatever you're doing, you need to get over to Back of the Room Productions, especially if you're a speaker. You need to get over there and let her help you get branded and known. And what does your sign say in the back? Give your audience more. I love that. Give your audience more.
And when I say that has so many meanings. Give your audience more of you, more of your message, more of your expertise. Because when you do that, you're generating leads, you're generating revenue. And if you can do that from the front of the room, at the back of the room, or at networking one-on-one, then you're a step ahead.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, does anyone have any questions? We've had a nice conversation over here, but does anybody have any questions before we just kind of let Alicia go back into the world of making people even more fabulous and popular and known than they are? Do you have any questions over there? Anyone?
And I welcome a phone call. I do have a place for you to schedule a phone call on the website. Somewhere. Oh, down at the bottom on the home page.
Okay.
I guess I'll probably need to put that on the top of the page at some point in my life when I have free time, right?
when you're working on upgrading your website.
Exactly.
Wow, that is another whole conversation, isn't it? Because we can spend a lot of time doing things like that instead of just being out there connecting with the people who make things different in the world. So.
Exactly. It's the hardest thing I love working with my clients so much that I forego working on my own marketing materials. It's like, really? Yeah.
Isn't that the traditional thing, though, is that the guy who is the construction, contractor, his house is falling apart and,
Exactly.
Craziness. Well, Alicia, thanks so much. I'm so honored that you would be here today and spend time together and the tips that you've given. And I know that as you've been listening today, you've heard some incredible things. So be sure and share this recording with your friends and make sure that they get these tips and this benefit. So, Alicia, thank you so much. Any kind of last words that you want to give us?
Just be yourself. And Donna, thank you for this opportunity. It was a pleasure. I'm really excited about where you're going.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you.